I was playing VR chat last night and I ran into a dude with a Zoro avatar, so I just took a selfie with him and sent it to King. He was like, what the fuck, is that
Um,
Zoro?
that's so cool.
There was also a dude that had an avatar made of hands and arms. Like, everything was a hand and an arm, and a little penis that was also made of an arm and a hand.
What the okay, I just thought of a new topic too.
God.
Um, how do you how okay how do I make this a topic? Okay,
How do you make it a topic?
so AI is ridiculous right now. It's in a really like it's AI is in a growing state. It's growing like shit's getting crazy. Like you could do fucking damn near anything and everything with AI. People are using VTubers' voices through AI through their
Mm,
streams. Like they are making AI talk like Gura, and they're using it as like point redeems. Like, hey, 500 points or yeah, 500 points to summon Gura, and they'll use the AI to make AI talk like Gura.
I've seen people do that for their own voices. I haven't seen them do it for, like, Gouda or anybody else yet, personally,
At the
but...
point, what what's the difference between voice impressions and AI?
Well, the voice
Like,
impression, you're just doing it yourself. You're not, like, stealing anybody's voice IP. I'm not sure if that doesn't count as an IP.
yeah, I'm not sure if it counts as IP either, but like should we be okay with like this being a thing, you know? Like just people
Well,
being able to take your voice and use it for their own purposes?
because you can make him say anything he wants. So,
Yes.
I mean, same with the voice impression, but at least you can point to a person and be like, hey, you were the one that did this, and ask them to stop. With an AI, you can just replicate that with anybody. Anyone can replicate it.
Cuz like Gura can come out the cut and say, "Hey, I don't support that. I don't support this. Please don't use my voice." And but, people are people. They're going to use their voice anyway.
Yeah. I mean, same with art, apparently, in AI.
Yeah, same thing with art. But like I feel like laws need to be in place or something. I feel like
Yeah, because I don't think AI stuff can be copyrighted at this time.
yeah,
So, like, even if companies are using AI, they can't copyright that.
and that that when you start to consider AI as a whole, that shit's kind of difficult. It's gonna be difficult to put laws on, even.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're gonna do it.
I think it's
Because
just gonna
without, if they can't copyright any of it, then it's all just pointless. Because you can't make a profit off of it.
what you well
I mean, if you're trying
AI.
to, yeah,
If
you
you
can use it
I,
for like data and like analyzing that, and you can't really make too much of a profit off of it. Like if you're like trying to make a movie or something, you can't copyright that if it's using AI, or if it's all AI.
like okay, shit, bro. Because at one point, when are we all gonna come into an agreement on like I don't know what I want to say. Fuck.
We're not.
Why don't I know what I want to say? Because I'm trying
I'm
to
saying we're
figure
not
out
going to come to an agreement.
I'm trying to figure out words. I'm thinking. My brain's going. I'm just trying to think about how I would feel if somebody was using my voice on their streams and getting donos and subs and shit. Like
If it's
I'd
without my
feel
permission, I ask them to stop.
Yeah.
If I gave them permission, that's not really an issue.
Well, yeah, because you gave him permission, but like this is on the assumption that like no, that's that's not what happened at all.
Because you can make people say things, or that can be clipped and then be used against you. So I feel like they probably shouldn't do it, but they're obviously going to.
I think
Uh,
some shit's gonna go down where AI is gonna like I don't know. Something crazy is gonna happen and AI is gonna be the fault. And I'm gonna be here like, damn, I knew that shit was gonna happen.
Because like they can use it in, like political campaigns.
Oh yeah.
I think that'll probably get some laws written about that specifically. So,
Welcome to the NTR podcast where we say whatever the fuck we want and don't ask us what it means. I am Panda, Sir Panda. You're God, you're pudding God. You love pudding and you love me. And my co host is.
you're the one who kept bothering this man to start a podcast. And we're missing one of our co-hosts. LOL.
He's
He's dead.
walking his fish. He's walking he's dead. We have to resurrect him.
He's no longer with us.
We have to find 6 artifacts to resurrect our co-host.
Need to get him max revive. Take him to a Pokemon Center.
um, shit.
Shit. So, I heard you like cereal.
I do like
Big
cereal.
cereal.
I fucking love cereal. Yeah, big cereal fan.
Big cereal fan. Big fan.
Big fan. Big fan.
And you reuse your milk.
Thank you. Top 3 cereals. All right, you go
Top
first.
3. I thought we were doing 5. My top
Oh,
3
yeah, 3 then.
are gonna be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. A lot of kids like it. Nobody knows. Second, Frosted Flakes. They're kind of plain, but I just like them for some reason. I don't know what it is about them. Yeah. Frosted Flakes.
You need
Oh,
Jesus.
I like Frosted Flakes. My number 3,
Oh, wait,
Cocoa
no,
Pebbles.
Frosted Flakes are fire. Frosted Flakes are fire. My bad. I was thinking of cornflakes. That's what I was thinking of.
Frosted Flakes, not cornflakes.
Well, that's my bad.
And third is Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, it's the one like chocolate cereal I actually like.
Yeah. It's the
Cocoa Pebbles?
redheaded stepson of Fruity Pebbles. Got it.
Yeah. But chocolate Cheerios are absolute garbage though. That's why I thought I didn't like chocolate cereal.
Chocolate Cheerios?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Pretty sure Cheerios? Yeah. Chocolate Cheerios are terrible. The worst cereal I've ever eaten.
Do you still want to get somebody in here? Because we can get somebody in here.
Yeah, if you want to.
Get in here.
I'm still trying to convince Panda to get in here.
Oh, yeah.
Bo can get in here too.
Yeah, we'll have 2. We'll have 2 guests for the price of 1. Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the subby webby. Appreciate you. What's your favorite cereal? You don't eat cereal. I don't think you do milk, actually. Yeah, you probably don't do milk.
Everything but cherries.
Being a vegan must be tough. It's probably not too bad once you get used to it, but I feel like the start off might be a little strange. Because I feel like you go from being a child, because I'm pretty sure like when you're a child, your parents are the ones who feed you. So you go from eating like whatever your parents are feeding you. Usually they do throw some meat into your diet to like not eating meat. I feel like that process might be a little rough, personally. I don't know. Growing up as a person who ate chicken a lot, which has nothing to do with my ethnic background.
To eat a lot of
I
chicken.
feel like that might be a little yeah, that might be a little tough. I don't know. Do you think you could do it? Do you think you can go vegan like right now? Think you could just go cold turkey on pork and
I
not
eat a lot of
counting?
I eat a lot of sausage, so I don't think so. Like a lot of
Oh,
I eat a lot of hot dogs and
yeah.
sausage. I don't think I could do it.
What's your favorite hot dog?
I usually get like beef hot dogs. But I forgot what the brand is. Let me look up like a Safeway. I think it's like Ballpark beef.
Oh, okay. Yes, 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 yes.
I guess the
Okay.
type I usually go
I
for.
knew you were the one for me. I knew it. See, this is why we're married, for real.
I forgot what the other brand is, but they're just not as good as the Ballpark hot dogs. It's not Hebrew National, is it?
One more time.
Trying to think of the other brand I tried. That's the Bar S.
Okay.
Those ones,
Wholeheartedly
they're
agree.
not as good as Ballpark. But
I mean,
the hot dogs you get from Costco are the best though.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If my mom's going to Costco, I'm going to Costco just to get a glizzy. Bo, if you're
$1.25
not doing
glizzy.
anything, get in here. Um, Ignore that. We're professional here. Ignore that.
Bo, we're inviting you to the podcast.
Get on stage. You've been our lucky winner. Surprise, surprise. Check your seat.
Check your seat.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
bomb.
It is a podcast where we talk about whatever the fuck we want because freedom of speech.
Because we
I couldn't
forgot
think of
to
anything
make up
cool to say.
topics this week.
Yeah. Got a wide variety of topics. Speaking of a wide variety of topics, let's get personal real quick because who doesn't like getting personal? Let me set the tone. Let me lower the music a little bit so you can feel me when I
Turn down the
spit.
lights.
All right. So let's put you in a hypothetical situation. You don't have. Oh, Panda. Hey,
Hey,
nice to
get
see
in,
you. Get in here.
get in
Get into
here.
VC. Panda
We're
and
getting two
Bo.
guests.
Viewer,
Are we
please
all
move
just
the
gonna have a
vehicle.
party?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. It's because Hollow wasn't here, so we're trying to scramble for a third person at least.
Could we get pizza and some lemonade? And then
We,
cut them into really small slices because we're poor?
we could go to Domino's and get their $7 pizzas.
You're fucking
So
disgusting.
true.
I'm not eating Domino's.
I haven't eaten Pizza Time, the place I usually go to in a bit, because Uber hasn't offered me a coupon recently.
I like Domino's
I
because I
only...
get free pizzas.
Fine.
You only get free pieces when they fuck up your order.
But you also get free pizzas or like super, super cheap pizzas on Tuesdays.
Right. I went to McDonald's like a few months ago. Line was super slow. I went... I got my food. I usually just go and double check in the parking lot to make sure it's all correct. I grabbed my chickens. They're wrong. I take them in. They replace them. I go back to my car, look at my quarter pounder. That's also wrong, so I have to go back in a second time to get it replaced. They fucked up both my
They fucked up
burgers.
they fucked up your order twice.
Because
That's the
they said it was
American
like, yeah,
experience.
it's like, yeah, here's your plain quarter pounder. It's like, okay, thank you.
That shit only happens in America. You can't convince me that it doesn't.
What only happens in America?
We fuck up your order religiously. It's a religious experience. Every time you come here, we're fucking something up. Your fries are gonna be cold or your burger's gonna be wrong.
I
Expect no
have a
better.
feeling that's just fast food, and that's sort of just the nature of it. I think
Really?
people working at fast food places, yeah, I have a feeling that's pretty universal, except in places where the workplace culture is different, like Japan, where they just hold higher standards for everything. I remember going to Macca's there, and it was just great. But I think that's just like a cultural thing with the way that we, I guess, put effort into our work or the way that we see our work.
Yeah, I just think fast food here is, people don't respect themselves or the workers. So something's bound to fuck up there.
I mean, that's kind of fair. And
I
some
have a
bitch is
joke.
yelling at me to
Burger King tastes
make
like
her
minimum
food fancy.
wage. King, if Pana's not gonna get in here, you have your one opportunity to join the podcast.
Your one opportunity.
You one opportunity.
You don't get another one after this.
Why does it do that? I hate that it does that. All right. Here's my hypothetical situation that I'm about to put you through. All right. Your best friend, your BFL for life, boy or girl, doesn't really matter. Um, they just got cheated on. Do you support their action of going to sleep with somebody directly after?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care, bro. It's up to them. And as if they're my best friend, like I don't know. I feel like getting cheated on is fucking traumatic, and a lot of people have a different way of dealing with it. But I'm not gonna like be mad at them for then choosing to go and like find some sort of physical connection with someone else immediately after, because that might be their way of coping. You know, it's not great in my eyes, but I I would support them.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
kind of agree, but except more like the other person didn't respect that relationship, so why should they at that point? Go
fuck.
go go do whatever's gonna make you happy.
You're both valid as fuck, but no, that's not the situation. You were already cheated on. Like your best friend was already cheated on. Do you support their action of going to sleep with somebody to cope after?
Because I'm assuming the
And
relationship's just over at that point. I'm assuming that's the situation here.
I
But
I
they've
I,
broken up.
I disagree. I feel like that's just not the healthy way to do it. I'd rather you cope like either alone or with somebody you could talk to.
I mean, yeah,
I
personally, I would do that, but like if I'm talking about being close friends with someone, I
yeah.
think that obviously they're not going to take the same actions I would, but if they think that's something that'll help them, then obviously I don't think it's the healthiest thing, but I'm still not going to be like, "Hey, that's a horrible idea." It's sort of more like, "Oh, all right." I mean,
Yeah, that's how you can.
if that's what you think.
But you don't think you can be the voice of reason though in this situation?
I, well, if
Because
cheating's traumatic, you know.
yeah, I agree, cheating is traumatic, but that doesn't mean that you have an excuse to make a poor choice. Because this could very much be like
Is
it's just
sleeping
not
with someone a poor choice?
depending on the context. I would say yes,
I think
because
that,
like
a reasonable, mature adult can make sort of choices for themselves based off knowing themselves best. And I think that having sex as adults is something that can be done pretty without, it's just
yeah,
a normal part of a lot of people's lives, I guess.
yeah. I get that, but like, what if the mental backlash is just fucking terrible? Like, what if you just regret just sleeping with that person just because like you got cheated on?
Well, as
Yeah,
the
that's
friend, I
always a
would say,
possibility.
hey, make sure you don't regret this, and remind them beforehand. And then they get to make their own decisions from there, and I'm just their friend that sees them as a cool person. So you know maybe it's good to remind them, hey, are you gonna regret this? Wait, what are the reasons you're doing this? But I'm not gonna be like, hey, stop
Hey,
it.
don't. That's wrong.
you make it you make it sound like kid.
If they
Make it sound
want
like I'm like
to go
Captain
make a
Save the World.
mistake after the other person makes a mistake, that's their mistake to make.
Well,
I
if it
just
was me and I just got cheated on, completely different story.
I
I'd,
just
I'd probably go die in a hole and play Apex for a day.
I just
A
don't want
day.
I just don't want my friend to regret their decision. So I at least want to be the possible voice of reason. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this because you might definitely regret it.
But they might not regret it. I'm sure that you might regret it. Maybe you've had experiences that lead you to believe that would be, the result. But for
Yeah.
some people, that's not, they deal with things differently because everyone's got their own stuff going on. Everyone has a different perspective. Everyone's got different experiences. So I think that I trust people to know themselves best over me. Like I know what is generally like the best thing for people to do, like to look after themselves. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's sort of like you know yourself best and you're the one to make decisions that will change your life. So it's sort of up to people to sort of take that into their own hands, or after hearing other people's advice, because at the end of the day, it's just advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like with financial advice, you don't give it out to people.
What do
I don't think I could ever give people financial advice.
That's fair.
I'm a broke bitch.
Yeah. Broken. I'm gonna go buy Domino's later.
For
I
everybody,
did
right?
get a job
Yeah, sure.
interview there.
Yeah.
You better not be minimum wage.
Mhm. I don't know what
Watch
the
them,
wage
watch you
is.
to
I
move
assume
up in this
it's
world.
yeah. I mean, I've been unemployed for 2 years, so at this point, the only reason that I've sort of been looking for jobs recently is because I am trying to move out of because I live with my mother currently. But this position I'm actually really excited for because a lot of the jobs don't look that interesting to me, especially as someone with a lot of like sensory issues, being autistic and sort of very dependent on the environment that I'm in. So the job that I applied for is a retail position. Crazy, I know. Those are renowned to be fucking shit.
Yeah, that
But
was terrible.
it's a retail position at a place that sells like video games and like records and TVs. Is that not the best retail position to be in though? And plus, wait, no. And this is another thing. Whenever I go in there, all of the bitches there have dyed hair, piercings. Everyone there's old. No,
You're
I would
working at a
fit
hot
right in.
topic.
Like
You
it,
you
it would be
you found your people.
I found my people and they like video games and shit, and I then get to hang out with them and I get to like help people out with their inquiries about cool gaming shit. That's like if I was to work anywhere in retail, that's probably it. But the interview's not until a week away, I think. So next no, a week and a little bit away. So I'll update you guys then. But
Okay.
I hope I get it. I really hope I get it because having a stable income in the current like cost of living crisis would be awesome because streaming is not that at this point.
Fuck. Yeah. A stable income is nice, but fuck, you're gonna get tired of working so
You're
Oh,
gonna,
I
fast.
know.
you're
I
gonna want to
know.
kill it.
Working is so annoying, dog.
I know. I worked for a year. Well, my previous job was for a year at a cafe making boba for people. Which I didn't mind too much, but it it does really burn you out. And I spent a lot of dead time just watching YouTube there, and spending 6 hours a day watching YouTube at a workplace is kind of worse than doing work because you feel like you're wasting away and like all of your time that you could be putting into other things is just spent being completely unproductive. And I would prefer to be helping people out and actually doing work than sitting and doing nothing but not having an option to then do what I want to do in my free time, if that makes sense.
I, I'm kind of curious on what the how do you say it? I'm kind of curious on what the culture around customer service is like over in Australia. Cause I
The
don't think it would
culture.
be like I'm curious on if things are like a little different compared to like the states, or if
America.
it's just or if it's just pretty similar, and I'm just overthinking it.
So you're
Well,
expecting
I
to
don't
be
have any
nice,
first-hand.
or like pretend to be nice to people.
I don't have first-hand experience with American customer service, so I wouldn't be able to point out the differences. But I will say Australia, it's. I do sort of just assume that we do have a high standard of customer service. because I rarely meet rude customer service people. If so, normally it's sort of like, oh, that person's just having a bad day. And of course, some people, and it's sort of more of that behavior rather than. Obviously, we have Karens as well, not, but it's. I don't know. Once again, I don't have any experience with American customer service, so I just seek Australian customer service, and that's what's normal for me. Are there any examples of things that you think might be different in Australia that you see in America?
Um, really can't think of anything off the
Top of your noggin?
top of my noggin.
Yeah, so I'm
Do
not really
people
sure
do
how it works over
people
there either.
do people like walk around and like really do you how do you how do you say this?
Do they walk around?
Are they coming through kind?
Yeah.
No, do you have? There's no polite way to say it. Do you have trailer park trash over there?
Like rubbish?
Like, do
No,
you
We
like
have
have
litter?
people? No,
people
no,
who dress
people
trashy.
who, yes, they go to your local grocery store wearing like yoga pants and a tank top that doesn't fit and flippy flops.
Oh, those are bogans. Those are bogans, and we call them thongs, not flippy flops. Um, yeah,
that's
I know it's
awesome.
crazy to Americans.
Here.
They're called bogans.
This-
They're not. They're not. I don't think that. I know what you're talking about, like trailer park people. I think from American movies and stuff.
Yeah.
mhm.
But in Australia, those people are bogans, and we don't. I don't think see them as negatively as you guys do look upon your equivalent. Because I
Okay.
think people in America talk about that demographic in a really negative kind of almost disgusted sense in a lot of ways in the way that they're portrayed by
100%.
media.
Yeah.
And our equivalent of bogans is just another member of society that has a different standard of living, and they dress differently. But it's also like we have quite a large, like even people that do quite well off still appear the same way in the way that they dress and look after themselves. And I think the blanket sort of term bogan is just for people who have a certain outlook on life and how they treat themselves, I guess. And it's not at all like an inherently negative thing here. It is just like,
Hmm.
oh, people this, that's a so that person's obviously a bogan, but it's not like, oh, that person's a bogan. It's like, oh, they're just they're bogan, you know.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's hard to
It's
explain.
more. It's basically it's more accepting and like there's no judgment towards those
Yeah,
people who live that lifestyle.
and I think actually bogans are more like American rednecks maybe, or a combination between the two. But
Yeah.
the issue is that our bogans aren't only in country areas where I guess your rednecks are. Our bogans are in cities and stuff as well, or
Hmm.
just everywhere. It's almost like we combine the people that live in we don't have trailer parks very often. Like that's not a common thing, I don't think. Well, in some states maybe, but not where I am. I think there's maybe one trailer park, and it's a place that old people go on vacation.
Yeah.
um, we sort of, yeah. It's like it's a very blanket term for us, but I think bogans also is probably what the international audience sees Australia as, because they're like the stereotypes. They normally have mullets, drink a lot of beer, really proud to be Australian, sit on lawn chairs, dress a certain way. And I think it's funny that the outside perspective of people they if they were to picture an Australian, they'd probably picture what we call a bogan. Then that's very funny to me. But yeah.
Uh.
I guess the one person I do watch on Twitch that's from Australia kind of does dress up a little bit like a redneck. So like country
Who is
country.
that?
He's fairly small streamer. His name is Jay Shiba.
Having a look.
Would you
Who's
say
that?
there are some
I'm
people
looking up
who
Twitch.
are overly proud to be an Australian, if that makes any sense. Like you know how there's people who are like a little too proud to be an American.
Oh, this is definitely more of an American thing. You guys are so patriotic. It's
Mm-hmm.
incredible. You guys are, but the issue is that I think your America being patriotic goes too far in that then Americans see themselves as better than every country and are very dismissive of other nationalities and cultures. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really damaging, obviously. Of course, there are people in Australia that are proud to be Australian. I'm proud to be Australian because I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I do think I'm incredibly privileged at the standard of living that we have and the fact that we have a lot of support, medical support, our healthcare system is pretty good. Our housing system is definitely better than most other countries, and we do have just generally a high standard of living with the government taking care of a lot of really important facilities, and our public transport's fucking awesome. But I think we if we have Australians that are more patriotic and proud, it's not like, oh, we're better than other countries. It's more like, oh, I'm proud to live in a place that actually has, you know, support. I'm
Yeah.
proud to live in a place that
Yeah.
that the government looks after me and that, or maybe they're proud of the culture, they're proud of the way that we treat each other. I think the difference for American patriots is that they then see themselves as more important or better, or I guess generally as people being born just as superior to, to other people, which is, I guess,
There's a lot of people here thinking they're
yeah.
superior to just other Americans as well. So it's not even just to other
Superior
countries.
to Americans,
Yeah, to other Americans.
to
So
other,
it's not
yeah.
even just to other countries.
I
Weird.
think that for Australia, it's like we probably look down on America not because we ourselves think that us as Australians are superior, but because the systems that we live in are superior just by nature because through healthcare, all our public shit is better. So I don't think we see ourselves as we don't identify as Australians being better. We are like, oh, the country that I live in, that like detached from ourselves, is better than America, and the country that Americans live in, just based off the systems that look after all the people in it, if that makes sense. Sort of a bit of a detachment almost.
Yeah, that's you can't even argue with that, honestly. I feel like it'd be weird to even try to.
Yeah, I do see America as a bit of a. It's not a dystopia, but I
Could be better.
sometimes, I mean, obviously there are crazy people in Australia too. There are crazy people everywhere, but the rate at which those crazy people get a platform in America, it does amaze me.
You can blame that on our entertainment. Or
Yeah,
what we
media
fucking in.
conglomerates have a lot of power.
Yeah. Speaking of media and entertainment,
Entertainment.
a new handheld console yet again is going to be
Sort of
boosting our
console.
presence. Yeah.
PC. PC
It's
console.
a mini computer. Um,
It's
what is it called
a
again?
Lenovo Legion Go. It's basically a Nintendo Switch. It's basically a Steam Deck if it had like the Switch controllers.
You slapped me with a link to that.
Yeah, and I'm also streaming it on the Discord.
Oh shit! Never mind. I'll just use
I can
that.
just,
It looks heavy. It looks
yeah,
like
it
a bit
does
of a
look fairly
brick.
heavy.
It looks stupid.
It looks big.
It looks chunky.
It
I
looks.
don't think this is something that you can like. I think
It's
switches
not
are a pretty good
pocketable.
size because you can sometimes fit them in a jacket pocket, which is kind of crazy. But this looks like it's a slightly too large. This looks like a folded laptop almost.
The controllers look a little bit too bulky as compared to a Joy-Con.
It looks like it'd be loud if that makes sense. I can see all the different. Oh
Do you think Nintendo's gonna sue for the Joy-Cons?
no, I don't think they can.
I mean, I imagine they won't just because these are like magnetic, and the Joy-Cons are like go through rails. So
Detachable.
I'm assuming there's like it's different enough, especially because the right one can be used as a mouse as well. It's like, hey, we innovated on this. This is not the same product, or not the exact same product.
The only
The,
reason I can see this possibly doing well is if it's at a cheaper price than a Steam Deck. Other than that,
it's
this is
not going to
basically
be.
just a Steam Deck
It's
with
not going to.
Joy-Cons.
It looks more expensive. Do you know what
It
the
does. It does look
price
more
is?
expensive.
I don't
I
believe
have
the price has been
no idea.
announced, so I imagine it's gonna be more because the ROG Ally is 750, and that's the other Steam Deck competitor.
I just don't understand
800?
the deal with all these fucking handhelds,
Oh
man.
my god, ROG Ally,
I
Best
I
Buy.
understand companies seeing the success of the Switch and how well that did, and then trying to replicate that or sort of get in the market. I understand it. I'm just not sure if they're gonna succeed. But I guess these are
And
very
ROG
expensive.
Ally was 600 at its cheapest, 700 for the next tier up. I don't think it's that they saw the
That's not
Switch and wanted to make this. They saw the Steam Deck and wanted to make this.
yeah,
Because there
but I
wasn't
think it
really a market
started
for
with the
handheld
Switch.
PCs except for like the GPD Win, which is a older, mainly like crowdfunded handheld PC.
Well,
Then until the Steam Deck came out.
why would you buy a Steam Deck instead of this thing? Because the Steam Deck is fucking massive.
Well, this is also massive, but the Steam Deck is probably
Yeah,
gonna.
but Steam Deck's way bigger.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think these are all just kind of bulky. All these handhelds. The Switch is super thin for what it is.
Actually, yeah, you kind of spitting.
So yeah, ROG Ally seems kind of
that is
thin.
that is not a pleasing. I don't like that angle. I don't like
Like
that
a
angle at
vibrator.
all.
It's a 3D view.
Oh
But yeah, they're
yeah.
all just kind of bulky.
Oh, the loading
And then, but the
times.
Lenovo Legion Go seems like the bulkiest out of all of them.
That just looks
Look,
unpleasant.
I don't like the white design because you guys know if you got your hands on something like that for that long, it's gonna get grimy.
Oh yeah, I've been
Yeah,
eating
that too.
Cheetos.
Yeah, my mouse is if my mouse was white,
Oh,
nah,
it's
I no.
okay. So the Lenovo Legion Go, I thought I saw $700. So it's gonna be in a similar tier to the ROG Ally for price. The high-end model
Wait,
of the ROG Ally.
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is the? I don't even know what that is,
ROG Ally is Asus's version of the Steam Deck.
bro. I don't even know who the fuck. I don't even know who that is. Bro, all these handhelds are coming out, bro. Why?
These are like one of the bigger motherboard makers, and
Bro, we don't need this shit.
does Asus make MSI?
Just make better PCs for lower prices.
Oh, yeah, it's
PC
Asus.
gaming.
Okay, no, Asus
Tired
is
of
not
this shit.
MSI. Asus makes like motherboards mainly, and I don't think they make GPUs. They make laptops as well. But yeah, Asus is not making motherboards. They're more or GPUs.
If it ain't
They're more
Alienware,
motherboards and
I don't know it.
laptops.
These specs are just words and numbers to me.
So
I ain't gonna lie to you, but that store's looking kind of nice though. I ain't gonna cap.
okay, so
One
it's a lot
terabyte.
more powerful than
Fire.
the Steam Deck. I can tell you that.
Is it
Looks like
really?
it. Yeah. Steam Deck specs
Oh shit, that's just another reason to get that.
versus Lenovo.
I just don't see a reason to buy.
These
Like if you
actually
have a
have
Switch,
specs.
if you didn't have a Switch, I feel like there's no real reason to get this shit. Just get a PC. You can
Yeah,
get a decent PC for
I
seven
do
hundred
think they're more
dollars.
accessible.
because the Legion Go
Like,
has like
what?
double the resolution of the
Like,
Steam
what do you
Deck.
mean? It's like I feel like
I
Like
also don't think that some
obtainable?
people want PCs almost. I mean, I've got a lot of friends IRL, crazy, right? But no, I don't have a lot of friends. There are people that I know IRL. I was lying out of my ass just then. There are people that I know IRL who don't have PCs and have Switches, and they use their Switch so much more. I think that it's sort of like that, you know, you can play it anywhere. You can take it with you, play it in your bed. Some people just prefer to have video games in a more portable style and don't really care that much about having a computer and playing games on the computer and sitting in a chair
No, this thing's
and
actually a lot more
playing
powerful. What
those
the
higher
fuck?
quality games.
Okay, so the Legion Go has double the amount of cores in its CPU as a Steam Deck. The RAM is faster, and it's like double the resolution for the screen. So it's actually quite a bit of a bump in power. Because also, if you don't know, the Switch 2 was apparently shown off behind closed doors at Gamescom. The developers are getting a look at the Switch 2, or whatever the next console is going to
Stupid
be.
name. I said it. The dumb name.
Yeah.
What, Switch 2?
Yes.
You want Switch
Are
U?
they meant to make a new name? I mean,
You want the Switch U?
they're keeping you or 2. What?
You
I'm
like
gonna need
the
you
like the Wii
guys to
U?
like become villains for like a second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Uh,
great at playing
yeah.
devil's advocate.
Yeah, I could tell.
Oh my god.
Okay. Go ahead.
These guys are fucking. I mean, I'm probably just ignorant and blind to the handheld market, but this shit just seems a little unbelievable. Cause like, yeah, okay, all this
Oh,
shit
you're
is
a PC
portable.
gamer.
Yeah, I'm a PC gamer, but like, when I go outside, I look around me, you know, I don't see anybody ever fucking using the Switch. There's a Starbucks next to
I
me.
do.
Nobody's. All right, the one person out there walking around with their Switch in their fucking
I've been
pocket.
seeing people.
I don't really go out, but one of
Well,
my
the thing
coworkers
is,
does have the RGLI. And they brought it
I
to work a
think
few times.
Which
um
no, it's I think the Switch is playable. I think you know people do play the Switch, but they're like in their homes when they play it.
yeah, well, even if they're in their homes when they play it, it's still like more accessible and portable for a lot of people, and they just prefer that. It's like for me, I don't understand consoles in the slightest when you can play most of the games ported to PC. And why are you going to play it with a controller and why are you going to play it on a separate whole console? For me, that doesn't make sense. But for some people, that's how they like playing games, I guess. So it's just, you know, a different way of getting the same sort of dopamine hits that video games sort of get you and the same sort of it's it's the same idea but just in different forms, and I think that different people like to then consume games through different forms. Some people like to play through console, which I don't understand. Some people like to have the little
Yeah,
portable
Nice.
Switch because it's smaller, it's less maintenance, it's less confusing for a lot of people, and it's just specially for games. And also a lot of the games are specifically for certain audiences and in a lot of different ways. And then some people like PC because they can use it for a different range of things, but it is a lot more maintenance, typically costs a lot more money. You need a lot more space. You need to, it's like each of the bar just gets sort of higher and higher, but there are also lots of different people looking for different things from the technology.
I feel like the only reason people are playing on consoles right now is simply because of exclusives.
All
Like
these PlayStations and Nintendo, sure, Xbox, they're putting everything on PC, so they don't really have that
well,
argument.
not everything. Like Pokemon
No, I'm saying
is.
like for Microsoft, everything they make is coming to
Oh
PC as well.
yeah, because Game
Because of Game
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of want exclusives to die, like, cause which I know that won't happen because they make stupid amounts of money for fucking exclusives, and that's how they sell their fucking consoles. It's gonna be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Like you have to get a PlayStation 5 to buy that shit or to play that shit. And I'm that guy. I have to buy a PlayStation 5 because I want to play Spider Man and the new Dragon Ball game that comes out.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
mean,
that's a
I
little
just don't
annoying.
I don't care about games enough to put that much. Well, I also don't have the money to make these sort of decisions, but I just
Yeah,
don't see it.
yeah, that's
I want to play
true.
Spider-Man, but I'm not sure if they're gonna release it on PC.
No, they
That's like
definitely
that's like
will. They'd be stupid not to.
because like Bloodborne is on PC. That's like the one thing they haven't ported over. But
It's
I
just
think
gonna.
I'm gonna wait like a year to see if it comes out, and then if
Yeah,
not, then
I'm
probably just
totally
like
100%.
borrow a PS5 from somebody.
Because Spider-Man, the first one, and Miles Morales are on Steam. Like that, 100%. Spider-Man 2 is gonna be on Steam. They're just gonna wait a fucking half a year to do it for no goddamn real reason.
It's because they want all the sales for their PlayStation version. Well, because they get a bigger cut from the PlayStation version. I'm assuming. Like Steam takes like 30% of the income or revenue from sales. You know, I'm
Oh
sure
yeah, I
Sony,
heard.
because they're like funding it, they want that initial boost in sales or money from it being on PlayStation only.
Did not consider that actually.
Because
Yeah.
other people are gonna be buying a PlayStation for Spider-Man, so they at least have a reason
So.
to keep it temporarily exclusive.
Hmm. All right.
Ugh.
Let me ask you a question, Bo. Why do you think
All right.
it is hard? Why do you think it's difficult for men to talk to women? Whether it be
Why?
a, yeah,
You asking me to like guess? I
yes,
mean,
your best
there are
guess.
lots. There are so many reasons. Oh my lord. I'm also coming at it of the perspective of like if because I obviously try and talk to women too. They because there's okay. If I'm thinking from a male perspective, I can
Mm-hmm.
think of so many reasons why it's hard to talk to women. First of all, obviously, the societal expectations and how you treat them and how, like, the specific things that you can and can't say. Obviously, people get stressed out trying to keep track of all that. Just like, talking in any sort of situation, there's a list of social norms and rules to follow. And when you're a man who typically and statistically does have more power in a situation and has historically done more worse things, it's expected that talking to women, you have to be more careful for sure, in the way that you treat them and, the respect that you have for them. So I can see how that could sort of be a massive issue because you've got to think of a lot of things all the time in your head about what you're saying and your body language. I think this is the same for talking to anyone, but obviously to a higher degree. I think it's hard because women also can be unpredictable, but I think that's the same with men as well. I don't think that that's less of a gendered sort of thing. I think everyone, it's hard to tell what people are thinking any of the time, and I think that obviously people are scared of rejection a lot, especially if you're bad at communicating with women and you don't see those sort of signs and you can't tell. Um, it can obviously be really scary. Uh, I guess the main thing is just it might be, well, personal fear. I think a lot of people get caught up on. They're like, oh, I'm not going to talk to a woman because of this and this, and I'm scared that I'm going to appear as this, or I don't think that I'm good enough to do this, or I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about with this. And I think that that's more of a personal thing that people go through because some people are okay with just having conversations with strangers, and some people aren't. And so that's like up to the individual and how they might have issues talking to women. But it's also when you're talking to women as a male, it's important to consider the reason, I guess, because a lot of people talk to women only in the context of romance, or that's what they see talking to women as, is like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I find this person attractive, so I'm going to try and build a relationship with them. But I think it's also important to just, sometimes it's not just about. Sorry. But yeah, what do you guys have any specific fears or issues when talking to it? Because I don't think it should be a fearful thing, But I also think that the way that men approach it often is not a great way of approaching. You should want to talk to someone or the intention of getting to know them without having an ulterior motive set in your head. And I think that a lot of people are only friends with women. A lot of males are only friends with women if they have other intentions, which is a really quite a negative thing to do. And it's not a great. I think it's just important to, talk to people, socialize regardless of gender, and just because that's where we're social animals by nature, you know.
I think when I was younger, I'd probably been talking to girls more whenever I had a crush on them instead of just trying to be friends, but I'm married now, so that's obviously not gonna happen.
Or like,
Well,
what about in like the social media space where like you're streaming and you meet a female streamer that she's cool. She's a really cool
yeah,
person.
Epico.
You Yeah, and you just want to be friends. Do you find it difficult to start conversation or just in general just talk? Like is there anything you struggle with?
I don't think so. I don't really reach out to people most of the time, so it's only become friends with them like when we're in a with a mutual friend usually.
Right.
So I don't really have to work towards it specifically. It just kind of happens. Except like Kappa, I was like I
Naturally,
played with
bro.
got into an Apex game with her and killed her or something. So it's like, ooh, YouTuber. It's like the one time I actually reached out to a person like, hey, you wanna hang out? Just recently. And that was like couple years ago.
I personally struggle with talking to girls,
So to females.
femoids, those women. I struggle talking to just to like build friendships. I struggle with because a lot of my jokes are very high, very either
Hmm.
overly sexual or just high tension, uh, which I do have started paying attention to. Um,
I do think a lot of women do also talk like that though, and there are quite a few people that have the same sort of energy in the way that they speak, regardless of gender. I think that's a pretty like, of I think obviously a lot of men talk like that, but I do think quite a few women do. It's just that they're not as open about it, I guess, and they don't put that in public spaces as much because as a woman, you're
yeah,
not allowed to present in that sort of way.
yeah. I just struggle with knowing how to even open. Like I don't even know what to open with. And I'm that guy who hates like to start a conversation with like a meme. I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much because like for me that's not conversating. That's just sending a gif or a picture or a funny picture to somebody. So I'm trying to figure out what people like and then talk to them based around that. Because if you talk to somebody about something that they love and enjoy, you can get them talking for like hours, and you're talking about something that they actually care about, and so you can probably find some interest in something that somebody else cares about. Which is why I struggle. I struggle talking to you for a hot minute, which is why I just didn't DM you. I just go to your stream and then found a way to conversate with you through there because I just didn't know how to even approach. It's a
Yeah,
work
I
in
think
progress, but yeah,
that that's for a lot of people regardless of gender, regardless like the hardest part of building a relationship with someone, a relationship whether that be friendship, obviously romantic, is taking those initial steps to put yourself out there because those are the scariest bits, this is a universal struggle that people go through. It's like, how do I present myself? How will I be interpreted? What
yeah,
do I want to what how do I take that first step to actually having a conversation? And I've struggled with this in the past too, but I think I've found a lot of confidence through just putting myself out there. That's always what people say, but truly it's sort of like if you have a desire to play a game with someone, to talk to someone about a specific thing, to share something that you are interested in that you think they might be interested in, is to just try, do it. like little steps obviously at first when you're first getting to know someone, but sort of see just through talking, just through sending little messages about specific things that you find a common interest in, that tends to be the best way to just slowly develop a bit of a comfort so that you then in future feel comfortable reaching out about different things or talking about more specific things that you're dealing with in life and finding support in other people. And I think that I do understand being really scared about reaching out and finding friends, building friendships, but I think it's important to just just give it a little bit of a shot, you know? Just reach out to people that you think you might be able to have a good connection with, that you feel like you vibe with well, and you know, if you feel like you vibe with them, this is the main thing. They probably vibe with you. A lot of people I think are like, oh, I had a really good conversation with this person, but I'm not sure if they liked me. I'm like, trust me, if you feel like you had a good conversation with them, 99% of the time, they probably also enjoyed that interaction. And well, I think this is just pretty general, but you know, if you think you're vibing with someone, they're probably vibing with you too. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't be vibing because they wouldn't be as in into the interaction.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Um, Talking is just hard and scary.
Talking.
I don't like talking.
Me neither.
I like it.
My
That's why
tongue dances when
that's
I
why we
talk.
started a podcast to talk.
Yeah, talk about bullshit and getting cooked.
Getting that sounds more like a you
Speaking of
issue.
getting cooked, let's talk about AI.
Oh,
Weird
oh my
transition, but okay.
word.
I feel like
No,
that
it
was
makes sense. I get it.
10
I
out of
get it.
10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Recently, I've discovered a streamer. I don't know. I it happened in passing, really. Um, he uses AI to imitate popular VTubers' voices, and he uses them as channel point redeems. Uh, should we support that?
I just realized I was sharing my screen still.
Uh, if they consent, I think that's fine. And if they haven't and he hasn't asked, then I think that's an invasion of their identity, really.
What cause when it comes to shit like this, where we're 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 hoping people take accountability for shit for their actions. We know that they won't. A large majority of people just won't because it's the internet. You know, you can do whatever the fuck you want and get away with it scot free, almost scot free. Um, should I feel like laws should be in place with AI, but the problem is like, where do you even start with that? And that shit can get like complicated so fast. So like, I'm at the point where I think AI should just be like illegal as a whole.
Uh,
As a whole,
I think
As
it
a
should be
whole,
illegal. It's an
I think
amazing
it should be
tool.
illegal. Yeah, but the evil that it can produce is way worse than I think the good.
Talking about getting cucked by AI, um, I, so as you guys might know, I'm currently
mm-hmm.
studying IT, information technology,
Mm-hmm.
mostly doing web design, development stuff, UI, UX, and sort of cybersecurity for businesses. And a massive thing that I've had to come to terms with quite recently is that the reality is that most people can get an AI to do all of the things that I'm studying to be able to do. Of course, that person needs to know what they're talking about, but you can basically cut out like hundreds of people from a task just if you know what you're talking about, and you can just get it to do all the shit that you want to do. And it brings a lot of existential dread because I'm already quite concerned about money and my financial state and, you know, employment, and seeing the degree to which what I'm doing can simply be imitated, not even imitated, but completely done better than even I could do it by someone that doesn't have like any of the experience that I have. I you know, you lose a lot of hope in like, is all the work that I'm putting in worth it? You know, am I going to be able to come out of this and actually find employment? Am I studying for the right thing? And I think this happens a lot for artists as well, because it's like now you can see art be created to often a better degree at a faster rate than humans can naturally in a lot of the time. And
Yeah,
even if
that's
you do a
true.
little bit of a sketch, and you can do sketches and, you know, generally map out what you want a piece of art to look like and then get AI to do the rest. And that, I imagine, well, even for me as someone that does art, I get scared about whether or not I will ever get to the point where I can, if someone would want to hire me over just doing it themselves on AI, because I personally don't see why they would. Like, and I don't, and with everything improving, like AI will be constantly improving and learning. It's hard for me to see a future where I am employed in something that I'm actually trained to do, that I've been training to do, that I enjoy in IT, or that I can find any prospect of making money and making a living off of doing art, which I don't do at the moment, but is something that I would like to do. It's just hard.
As here in the US, AIR, I don't believe is copyrightable, so they can't really sell it. I mean, you can sell it, but it's not yours to keep or yours to like have any sort of jurisdiction over. So if somebody's stealing your art, you can't really do shit about it. But with IT, like if something's physically happening, you need a person to be there to fix it. Like if a computer shuts down or explodes for some
Yeah.
reason,
But
you kind of
the
need the
IT that
person.
I'm studying is I'm not doing any hardware related stuff. I'm not studying for customer service, IT tech support. I'm studying for tech for businesses,
Yeah.
and that's all done digitally, and so that involves mostly me writing recommendations for businesses. But the fact of the matter is that these resources they can find, and they can get AI to write up all of the things that they want if they give them AI the right information. And yes, of course, they once again need to know what they're talking about in order to get the right results. But I really don't think that it's going to be that difficult in the future, with everything obviously exponentially becoming better at what it needs to do.
Another reason why AI is becoming a problem. Gotta get rid of
It's
it.
a problem,
I don't do
but it
shit with
also
AI.
it does make it makes a lot of things more accessible, and I think it is a tool that will it already is changing lives, and it's going to change our world. And I don't think I think we can stop it if we want to stay where we are, but I think that humanity is always looking for improvement. You know, we want to go to the moon, even if it's stupid and not going to really actually give us much. We want to sink all the money into exploration, just, you know, because I guess we're humans. So I don't ever foresee it stopping, really. I think this is the next step, and this is what a lot of people consider to be the next step. Personally, you know, I like actually making art and thinking that I'll be able to make a job out of what I'm studying, but the reality is that you know, our world is always changing, and this is one of the next big changes. Just like phones, just like the internet, just like electricity. This is just it's gonna take away a lot of jobs, but it's gonna create a lot of opportunities for the creation of new things. It's scary though, for sure. Did Hug leave?
Hmm?
I
What?
don't think
Oh
so.
No,
no.
I'm still here. I know my computer was having issues for a second with my browser. Is like was frozen for the last solid 5 minutes.
You just disappeared from Panda stream. That's why I was wondering.
Uh,
I
oh
didn't.
no,
Oh
it's
shit, you did.
no. I restarted my browser, so that's why.
Uh,
I'm not sure. I don't think it's using the same link, unfortunately.
yeah.
Send you a new one to update.
Oh, it's working now. Well,
Okay.
I
How's
hear
it?
you twice. Why do I hear you twice?
Why do you hear me twice?
I muted the
Do you still hear me twice?
Nah, you're good.
Okay.
Hugbug,
Yes.
you got another topic?
Um, not really. I kind of, I was gonna try to get topics before, but kind of forgot and was busy.
Yeah, I lost track of time.
So, have you guys finished any games recently? Have you anything in your backlog?
I'm working on Dark Souls.
A
how
good
far are
game
you?
I am at art.
in Orlando.
Yeah, that place.
Oh, you finished the tutorial.
I hate. I hate you. I hate you so much.
That's literally what they call it. You know, before you get to Orlando, that's all just learning. That's the tutorial in Dark Souls 1.
I didn't learn shit.
But you have learned shit. It may
You
not
were
feel like
able to
it,
get
but
there.
if you go back, you can fight those bosses so much easier than you can before. Even if you have like, even if you downgrade your equipment to what it was back then, trust me. Now that you've fought those bosses, you can go back and you will do so much better.
Like a couple
I
months
will
before.
take your word for it.
I know
I,
you
I definitely
truly,
first
truly.
turn. I've definitely one turn all the bosses I've come across except for Ceaseless Discharge. Fuck that boss fight.
Oh yeah, I don't think it resets after dying. Or part of it doesn't reset.
I didn't know it was supposed to reset.
Cause I know I'm pretty sure you can just like run in there like after a certain stage. It's like a two-stage boss fight, right? Once you get
No,
to the second stage,
Ceaseless
No,
is one
I think you're
stage.
thinking of a
no, I'm
different
thinking
one.
it's like a tree thing that I'm thinking of.
Oh, that's
Oh, I
yeah,
haven't fought that
that's
yet.
that's that's the gimmick boss. That's yeah, discharge is in the
That
fireplace with
that
the
lava
hell. I mean, the
bitch.
tree
Oh, this thing. I remember
is
this
also
thing.
with the lava.
They
But
told me I could go through, make him pop up, run back, and he'll fall to his fucking death. Guess what he didn't do,
I remember this
bitch?
boss.
maybe just fight him. Try and fight him normally. He's not that hard
Oh no,
normally.
I did. I
Right?
that was I got him. I killed him.
You got him.
He's a slut though. I was stuck in Sin's Fortress for 2 hours, and
Hmm.
that I would rather be
That's
in the
the
catacombs.
average. That's the average Dark Souls experience.
Okay, that makes me feel better. honestly,
No,
that honestly makes
trust
me
me.
feel better. The catacombs would
Sens
have
is
been
known for that.
way more enjoyable than that because that was hell. That was my hell, my personal hell.
That's no that
Oh,
there is a
I was thinking the
quite
Bed of
a
Chaos.
unanimous. Yeah, the better chaos is the gimmick one. It's quite unanimous in Dark Souls 1 that Sens is considered the hell.
That shit is terrible. And it's like it's not even like the knights or the golems. Well, which the golems fucking suck too. But it's the fucking it's the parkour that's fucking terrible.
I realized playing Dark Souls, I'm a parkour gamer. I'm kind of goaded with the sauce.
I'm not good with this house. I could beat the fuck out of anything that comes towards me, but parkour, bro, get that shit away from me.
That's
Get
I'm
a
that
really
shit
good
Souls
off
at
the
game.
parkour,
grid.
but those Titanite demons, I cannot lay a finger on. Those fuckers are not even bosses, not even mini bosses, but they, for some reason, I was incapable of beating them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
when they leap in the air and they fucking smack down and hit you. That shit tracks. That shit is terrible.
yeah. I shed a few tears farming for Titanite.
I almost broke my knuckle.
What?
Real.
How?
Yeah, I be punching the fuck. You know, like death abuse, bro. That should be hidden. Literally.
All
Uh-huh.
right. Are we coming up on an hour? Because I do
Yeah,
have to go
Yeah.
do
I
some
think
study.
we were
Yes, we
essentially
are.
done unless you had another topic.
I do. It can be a little quick one. Gotcha games. I've been
I
hearing a lot of people talk. talk shit about gacha games, which is fair. I'm a gacha game enjoyer. I'll admit it. I love the farm. I love the grind. I can very much see their viewpoint. How gacha is just gambling, but nobody's telling you to put money into it. And if you have an addictive personality or whatever the fuck it's called, then don't play it. But I
Yeah,
kind of
obviously.
also want to hear like what an alternative will be because I can't see any. Like the
An
alternative is just get rid of
what?
gacha games.
I mean, Xenoblade
Like
2 is a gacha game,
I,
but you don't have to spend money in it.
I'm
I think
not
you've
a
played
gacha
Xenoblade 2,
gamer.
but
yeah,
I do
that's
think that
understandable.
it's in human nature to compare ourselves to others, and I think that's where the money aspect comes into gacha game because you can be free to play, but if you're consuming content related to gacha games, there's a lot of sort of comparison and obviously a lot of a lot of greed. I did play Genshin for a little while, free to play, of course, because I'm fucking broke. Subscribe to me on Twitch. Um,
I spent
but
$100 to get your
I
live.
sort of I I stopped. And I think at the moment, gacha games are just not accessible for me because I'm studying. I wake up, I have breakfast, morning routine. I study for 6 hours. I take some breaks to obviously do this sort of stuff and chat to people. And then I'm streaming for 6 to 8 hours immediately after, and then I'm going to bed. And so it's like, unless I'm streaming gacha games, which I don't enjoy anyway, I don't have that sort of free time to just grind it away. And I don't enjoy that process either when there are so many games that are condensed and even just you can play through once, like Road Warden, which isn't a long game, but it's a good game. And I've found myself enjoying those sort of experiences more compared to just the grind. Because I did find that Genshin got to the point where it's like, oh, log in, do these quests, like spend an hour doing this. And I was like, do I enjoy this? Am I getting anything out of this? Do I want to be doing this? And I just had to like do a bit of introspection and say, no, I don't fucking enjoy it. It looks pretty, but like I could be doing so many other things. I could be playing so many other games. I could be playing better games, and I could be playing games with other people that like even League of Legends. And so I didn't after playing it for a little while, I just can't ever see myself playing those sort of games again at this point, unless maybe I get hospitalized and I'm lose like paralyzed from the legs down and I can't move.
Jesus
Even then,
See,
Christ.
that's where Teamfight Tactics comes in hand. You play that on your
I
phone.
don't even play TFT anymore. I've found the new set is just not for me, and I don't enjoy it. And I think that's something that I'm proud of myself for doing is that if I see something in my life and I sort of recognize that something isn't helping me or that I'm not enjoying it, that I can sort of just cut myself off because I do value myself and my time uh, quite a lot. Well, I definitely didn't used to, but I found more value in that and in respecting my own body and time. So I think, but I see the appeal for some people. I just can't.
Yeah. I think at this point I only play Genshin for the story missions, or like the big expansions whenever they come out. It's actually kind of like the story for Genshin. It's like when the new regions come out, I just play through that. Don't really care about the gacha because I already have all the characters I actually like to play with. And I just don't roll for weapons at all in that game. But
Yeah,
I mean,
Weapon
Xenoblade,
Banner was kind of scummy.
yeah, I don't bother with those. Yeah, I know you haven't played Xenoblade 2 yet, Panda, but it's essentially a gacha game, except you don't have to pay for anything, just the game. It's like
Yeah,
your extra units you use for like abilities, so you have to roll for them. There's no way to pay for it, so you don't have to, you know,
yeah. I'll probably end up finding out what you mean when I get to my first playthrough of.
'cause, like you get common units, and there's like rare units that are, rare. They actually have abilities and story missions related to them. Like story is in their own story, not anything regarding the campaign or story, actual story mission, story game. I can't speak. You don't need
Talking
time to
hard,
complete the
bro. I told you.
game.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All
I
right,
think
I might
that's a
head
great.
out.
Sounds
Okay.
good. That's a great spot to end the third episode of the NTR podcast. Don't ask us what the fuck it means.
See how
Uh,
fast I can actually upload this one. I uploaded
how
episode 2
many?
to YouTube like 4 days ago.
For real?
Yeah.
Follow
Nice,
me on
nice.
Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter. And Blue Sky.
Follow me on Twitter.
Let me plug you guys real quick. How many episodes did you want to do?
Link below.
Total?
Link somewhere.
Link somewhere.
Yeah.
What are you? It's gonna be an ongoing thing.
I have a wife and kids.
No, you don't.
If you guys ever need a third or someone to fill in, I am available most of the time.
We thought we had Hollow today, but he is AFK. He's dead.
Rest in peace. Rest in pieces.
He's farming. He's got your games.
Well, have a good rest of
Yeah.
your day, and
Yeah, you too.
hope some good things happen for you guys. And hang out. See ya.
See ya.
Boy.
And I thought we just could do this as an ongoing thing until we get bored or don't want to do it anymore.
I didn't want to do it yesterday.
Well, yeah, we weren't going to do the podcast yesterday.
That was a joke.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm still looking for links. I couldn't spell Elriff.
I shared my screen for us all like 10 minutes without realizing I was scrolling through Twitter and Reddit, I think. I don't know if anything else came up. Or if anyone was paying attention.
I stopped watching your stream after we were done talking about the 10 hills.
Okay, cool, because I shouldn't be looking at my Twitter or Reddit on stream.
Yeah, no, you're good, you bro. I got it.
I wasn't sharing my
I
screen.
learned.
It was on the podcast.
I mean that's on you. You mean you're editing? You're not editing, but you're
Oh,
making
I'm
that
editing it.
video. You can cut it out. So,
It's gonna upload it on
yeah,
YouTube.
it's not too big of a deal. You just cut it out.
You can just put a censor over it if I did accidentally share anything.
Just put a censor over it.
Yeah.
What a funny guy. What a funny fucking guy. Hold on, let me. It'd be so much smarter for me if I just copy paste your links and put them in my notes because I use the same notepad when for every idea. When I make topics, I use the same thing. I just save over it that way. Bam, no issues. And get the Twitches in here. Hug the bug.
Hug the bug.
And you're gonna go sleep.
I might
So
take a
you
nap.
can-
Or go get food. I haven't really eaten today.
Wait, what? Say that one more time.
Probably gonna go get food or take a nap.
Where are you gonna get your food from?
Probably Domino's. Cause I don't want to drive far or get it delivered. It's like 2 minutes away.